Today we're speedrunning The Closing Shift, which is a really cool horror game. Our speedrun's gonna start after a little loading screen where we see we're late for work, so we have to leave our apartment. And unfortunately, our apartment is on the top floor, so we have to go down this entire staircase to make it over to our car. And right when we make it to the bottom, we also see that there's someone's phone on the ground. So being a good citizen, of course, we're gonna pick it up and see this one guy crouching on the ground. Not sure what he's doing, but we give it to him. He's pretty rude back to us, but I gotta go to work, so whatever. Hopefully that's not gonna backfire on us at all, but no time to worry about that. We're gonna turn the corner here so we can spawn our senpai, talk to him really quick where he's mad at us for being late, and now we'll put away our phone and get started at work. And for our first two drinks, we have to make a coffee and a latte. A coffee is just going to be coffee, while the latte is going to be coffee and steamed milk. So we'll start preparing those. We'll also start preparing our next drink for the day, which is going to be making some blended ice. Before we get these two coffees, we'll put steamed milk in one of them and put both the lids on those drinks. This is when we're going to see our customer, and we already have both of his drinks ready, so we can make those and start preparing our others. Which our next customer is going to want a chocolate chip chillipuccino, which is going to be coffee, milk, blended ice, chocolate sauce, and cocoa powder. It's definitely one of the bigger orders. Some of these orders are really easy, like just a coffee or just a latte, but for this one, I have to focus on a lot of stuff. And also, while we're waiting, we might as well focus on our third order, which is going to be a matcha chillipuccino, salted caramel mocha, and white mocha. For the matcha chillipuccino, that's going to be blended ice, milk, matcha powder, and whipped cream. For the salted caramel mocha, that's going to be coffee, steamed milk, caramel syrup, hazelnut syrup, and chocolate sauce. And for the white mocha, that's going to be coffee, steamed milk, and white chocolate sauce. So we're going to start preparing some stuff, and we see this whole group of students that is just sitting here waiting for their coffees. They talk for a really long time. It's really annoying and also really confusing what all they want. We try to guess what their orders are. We get those wrong because we don't really care, and we get so many tickets, but we already have a couple things done. So what we're going to do is just place those down, look for where they are, and give them to the right person. This takes a little bit of time, but that is easy enough. Now we just have one more drink to make, so we'll go ahead and get our cold cup where we can put the blended ice, and of course this one's going to be our matcha chillipuccino. A little bit of time to make that, but pretty easy. We can then send that out to the orders. Before now, we have to get a couple pastries. For this one, we have to get the matcha cake, pumpkin cake, American waffle, and American apple pie. And we first have to grab all those from the counter before going over here where we can actually put them in. Now, if you put these in the wrong order, then it will say, oh no, you got the wrong thing. It's really annoying. Instead of just letting you do everything at once, you actually have to use the correct ticket. So I did mess up a tiny bit right there, but not the biggest deal. And that's going to be all the students done. Now for this day, our last thing is going to be a latte, which is super easy. You already know it's just a coffee and steamed milk. So we'll get that done. And while we're waiting, we might as well start focusing on some other stuff. Like our first order of tomorrow is just going to be a coffee. And there's also going to be a vanilla chillipuccino later in the day. So we'll get that started as well. As long as something is in a machine or if it's a completed drink, it will stay to the next day because our senpai is a liar. He does not work at all. But anyways, we will take that. We will deliver his drink, go inside here where this guy tries to talk to us and tells us he's a private investigator, but we're literally not even listening. I didn't see him through there. Anyways, that is going to be all the work we have to do. I might as well prepare some steamed milk while I'm waiting here, and we're going to stand by there until finally we can sweep the floors. This is a pretty fun mini game where these people just tracked in so much dirt. What's wrong with them? And we just have to go through, wait out these entire circles for that to get done. Finally, after we get done with the last one, we will see that the power goes out, which is kind of scary. Like I said, this is a horror game. It's not just coffee simulator. And we also see a bunch of milk bottles scattered on the floor. No idea how those got there. Not really my problem. I don't get paid enough to investigate those things. So that's going to be that. And we're on to the next day. Now we get some really ominous scenes in between the days like this. Not really sure what it's trying to show us. Or at least I wouldn't be sure if I didn't already know what happened in this game. Obviously I'm speedrunning. Don't worry, it will all make sense later. And anyways, it's time to leave our apartment and go to work for day 2. This time it's pretty much the exact same thing, except we don't have to pick up someone's phone. We just make it straight over to our car and go to work. And it's going to be the exact same thing where we have to talk to our senpai. He's mad at us for being late. He's kind of a jerk, I'm not gonna lie. And as soon as we get here, he just runs out. He does not care. He doesn't want to be here at all. But we already have the coffee done. So what we're gonna get is an American scone caramel toffee, an American apple pie, and an American waffle. Before this guy walks in, he gives us his order, and we already have everything ready for you. Don't ask me why I already know your orders. Maybe that would be a little weird. They just hop into the coffee shop and right away I say, yeah, I already have your order done. Don't worry about it. I don't know if I would come back to this coffee shop if I was a customer. That's kind of creepy. But this guy's like, oh yeah, good job. But then he tells us that there's something wrong. There's a guy watching us through the window. No idea who that can be, but I'm trying to get my work done. I don't have time to worry about mysterious people. I gotta make a living. So anyways, it is time to make our vanilla chillipuccino, which is gonna be blended ice, milk, vanilla syrup, and vanilla powder. So we'll put all that together, put on the lid, and we also want to make 2 servings of just milk. So we will grab the milk, put those on both of those, and also put our caps on until we can see that we already have an order in. I was a tiny bit slow, but not the biggest deal. And we can put away both our vanilla chillipuccino and the milks. This guy's also really creepy. He didn't even talk to us to give us his order, so I'm sure that's not a problem. And anyways, time to work on the next few things, which are going to be a matcha chillipuccino, coffee with whipped cream, and caramel macchiato. But here's where we see some random guy just coming in trying to flirt with us, and he gets really mad at us because we tell him, hey, just order your food. I'm not trying to flirt. He says we'll regret it. I don't really care. One less order that I have to make. And that means instead of making an order, we can just kind of chill here until it's time to clean up, because that stuff I was preparing was for tomorrow. But finally, after waiting a little bit for that guy to leave, we can now go ahead and put all this trash away and also start bussing the tables. We can do this one from over the counter just to save a little time. Then we head over here. These people are actual pigs. Why do you not clean up after yourself? And finally, there is going to be this last one over here, where we also see that there's a picture on the table, and it's a picture of us. I know you couldn't really see that because I went through it too fast, but yeah, it was a picture of us. Someone is definitely stalking us. Anyways, time for day 3. No point in worrying about that right now. I gotta get back to work. And this time I will give you a little bit of a jump scare warning coming up at the end of this stairs, because this lady comes up with her baby and tries to run into us, and then she blames us. I wasn't the one who almost ran into you, lady. Some people. I just gotta get to work, man. And also, we get another one of these scenes where somebody is watching us as we drive our car away. Definitely not creepy at all. Anyways, we're heading in here. You know the drill. We have to spawn senpai, then go talk to him, put our phone away, and it's time for work. Where we already have one of our drinks ready, but now it's time to make our cold drink, which is going to be the matcha chillipuccino. Of course, that's the one with matcha powder and whipped cream. And then we see this group of girls that all want some food and some drinks. They're insulting each other. I don't really care what they have to say. I'm just trying to get my 9 to 5 done, but there is going to be the matcha chillipuccino. Next one is going to be the coffee with whipped cream that we finished. And then we also have a caramel macchiato. Also, I'm going to throw away that photo. It just takes up space in my inventory. I don't really care about it. But for the caramel macchiato, that is going to be coffee, steamed milk, caramel sauce, and caramel syrup. So we can put that together, place it in there, and finally, we just have to get a strawberry cream roll and a strawberry churro. I hate these big orders because they're just so much to remember, but we are almost getting done. There's only 5 days of this game, so we'll be done soon. Anyways, that's going to be another day. I'm going to throw away the stuff in my inventory because it's taking up too much space. Then we can start preparing our 2 next drinks, which are going to be really simple because it's just a latte and a vanilla latte. Latte, of course, is just coffee and steamed milk, while the vanilla latte just adds some vanilla syrup. So pretty easy stuff. We make both of our drinks there, where we see this guy, and one of these people can't pay for their drinks, so the other person offers to pay for them. What a nice guy, and we send them on their way. But of course, time to start working on our next thing, which we can't actually do too much work on yet. We're just going to kind of construct the drinks, but leave them on the table as we just kind of say here. And the funny thing is, this game is definitely not made for speedrunning. First, these girls are just looking at me, but finally, they don't have time to actually leave. They disintegrate from thin air. That's how fast we're going. We just killed those girls because they wouldn't get out of my shop fast enough. Look, you gotta do what you gotta do. They were taking too much time. But of course, we're just gonna bus all 5 tables before we hear something in our drive-thru. So we're gonna check our TV, see there's a person over there, and instead of just staying in, calling the cops, we actually go over there where we see a love letter. Yeah, not creepy at all. I don't know why we're still going into work. I'm gonna be honest. I guess we gotta get paid and our senpai doesn't even care. But time for another one of these ominous scenes where there's a guy with some pictures, apples, milk that looks very suspiciously like the stuff in our store. That's kind of weird. Anyways, we're on to the next day where we're going out, leaving our apartment. This time it's really evident that it's been snowing, but I don't have time to worry about that. I'm going to my car, except your car is actually broke down this day. Now you can check it and see that it's broke down, but we already know that we have to use the bus this day. So I'm just gonna head over to the bus instead of even checking my car. The bus stop is kind of far away, but we make it over there where we're just chilling with the bus driver. We're the only one in the bus. Kind of like it that way, not gonna lie. But unfortunately, the bus driver slows down and there has to be another person that joins in. So there's this guy Which first, look at that. What are you even doing? What is wrong with you? Now we're seriously just minding our own business, not even saying anything. And then he looks back slowly and just stares at us. Finally, he stops, but I do not want to be by this person at all. Finally, at least, we made it over to the coffee shop. I'm never taking the bus again. But anyways, we're going back to our store. We'll spawn our senpai, go over to the toilet where he freaks out because he's like, why did you see me in the toilet? And then he runs away at full speed. And now I'm gonna have to clean it up after the rest of this day. But anyways, it's work time first. And our first thing is gonna be 2 caramel macchiatos. Of course, that's gonna be coffee, steamed milk, caramel sauce, and caramel syrup. So we make one of those first before we start focusing on the second one, because we can't have 2 drinks in the same spot. So we will make that one, second caramel macchiato. And we also have to get 2 caramel toffee American scones. This guy really loves caramel. And I know some people are getting so mad at me for saying caramel instead of caramel. I kind of say both. You know, it just depends on the day. Anyways, time to make our green tea latte, which is just gonna be steamed milk, matcha powder, and vanilla syrup. No coffee in it, which makes it super easy for me. We'll go ahead and make that drink, and we're waiting for the next person. Oh, I might as well also get her American waffle. I almost forgot about that, but as we're taking her order, this guy is just looking directly at us. I'm sure we don't have to worry about that. Anyway, here's your order, and time for the next one, which our final order for today is gonna be a salted caramel mocha, which is coffee, steamed milk, caramel syrup, hazelnut syrup, and chocolate sauce. So pretty easy order, and we have plenty of time to do it because this lady walks away really slowly. She also gave us a bracelet to help keep us safe. I don't care, I don't know you, so of course we're throwing that in the trash. And finally, we see one last lady coming into the store, walking very strangely. Hope she's okay, but she tells us that we should be a model. I really appreciate it, but I'm trying to do my regular good work. Look, this is my passion. You can see by how good I am at making drinks before you get here. Now we will get the toilet stuff prepared, but after that, we're kind of just hanging out. And that's because we have to wait a fairly long amount of time for our next guy to show up who doesn't have a shirt. Now this guy is, he's a little weird. He's just gonna come in and start dancing. So we tell him that that is illegal and he decides to leave. You know, pretty easy to deal with, but that was definitely a strange encounter. This game is so cool and so weird at the same time. I don't even know what to say. Anyways, we'll finish up day 4 and we're gonna start with the trash, which will just place all 3 bags in the dumpster. And then we'll also come over here where there's gonna be toilet paper because like I said, my senpai, he did some terrible things to this toilet. So we're gonna have to clean it. I see why you ran away so fast, you jerk. That's so annoying. But anyways, time to come over here where the entire thing goes dark. And now it's time for the nightmare sequence. It gives us a timer of 150 and a bunch of shadowy figures start showing up and trying to order from us. You can see them just walking through waiting for their orders, but you don't actually have to do anything for this point. I remember watching Corey Kenshin trying to do stuff and he just had no way to be able to do it all, but you could just sit here. It doesn't matter at all. So really quick, while we're waiting, just want to remind you that you're loved. There's people that care about you and you make their lives better. But now we're gonna finish out waiting our entire 2 minutes. Once it starts getting over to around 4 or 3 seconds, I start going towards the door. And once it reaches 0 seconds, we can actually go through and we're going to try to check on the breaker box where we can't do anything to it. Then we go and run around until we see these eyes coming towards us, trying to attack us. But thankfully, it was just a dream. Yeah, you really feel bad for this woman. This is not a good thing at all. And you can see she's absolutely terrified. We get another view from the stalker and she is not enjoying her life at all, which I can't blame her. This guy is creepy. But it's time for the final day. And one thing you might have noticed is I didn't actually prepare any drinks. And that's because we have a really cool trick for this final day. But of course, we have to make it back to our car. Thankfully, it's actually going to be able to start up so we don't have to go on the bus. And this time is really weird because our senpai isn't even going to show up to work. We have no idea what happened to him. But what I'm going to do is press tab, then escape, and click on the TV where it says look closer. That's going to distort our view, make us in this really weird camera, and then we can go through walls. So what we're trying to do is get a certain prompt. We'll see when our cursor goes yellow. It's a little bit weird. I got a kind of weird one this time, but there we go. That's exactly what we need. We can see the go down prompt, and that's basically taking us from the ceiling down to here, where we're going to see that somebody has been living in our store this entire time. There's milk, banana, coffee. We saw this scene earlier, and yeah, this guy has been living here. So obviously we're pretty freaked out. There's a bunch of pictures of us and stuff. So we're going to close down the store, get rid of that wood blocking that, and also get this scanner. First of all, since we didn't actually take care of any customers, we can't go to the front of the store. There is a thing blocking us, and it will tell us I have to get all my customers' orders. So we have to use these angles to be able to count our products. Then we're gonna go pick all those up so we can trash them, get some money, and start putting all these things in the trash one by one before finally counting the money, and that's gonna be all that dealt with. And finally, the last thing is to flip the sign to closed, but because we can't go through that barrier, we're gonna have to use this trick one more time to just barely make it over there, where we'll see this guy coming to our door and being creepy looking in. So what we're gonna have to do is kill this guy, because I don't like him at all. We're gonna climb back up, and once we make it up here, we see a brick, and we're gonna drop this right on this dude's head. Also, the investigator, you saw him dead on the floor. But anyways, this guy has a metal beam or something. I don't know what he was trying to do, but we dropped that right on his head, and that's what you get. You also notice this is the guy we gave the phone to at the beginning of the game. You can't do anything nice for people nowadays. And now we get kind of a little bit of text where it just says, hey, I killed a man. She's really regretting doing it, but when she gets the police and they come there, the man is gone and the investigator is gone. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. And we go back to our home to rest peacefully. Now we're kind of just chilling out, watching some TV when our TV stops working, so we have to call our building manager, but we can't find our phone. Yeah, you thought this game was done, didn't you? But no, there just can't be a happy ending, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So we leave our apartment, and our person doesn't lock the door. Anyways, we have to go find our phone, so we're heading down this staircase one last time, making it over in this direction where we'll find our car, and we'll also find the phone just sitting there, kind of weirdly. So yeah, that's fun. Time to head back up. When finally we make it into our apartment, move forward a little bit, and as soon as this screen fades to black, that's where we're gonna call time, giving us a 26:32. And at the very end, the stalker is in our closet, and it leaves the story at that. This is supposed to be the good ending, by the way. Yeah, let me know if I should speedrun more Chilla's art games. But on speedrun.com, that is going to be a 6th place, so I'll take it. All right, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.